What a beautiful story. Story of the turtle and rabbit. Now, what are the lessons of the story? Anyone? From group 1. Okay, that's great. No? Thank you for sharing your understanding about the story. Okay, how about group 2? What a very nice answer. That's correct. We need to cooperate in order for us to become successful. How about group number 3? That's great. No? Competition is good, but teamwork is better. That's great. How about group 4? Anyone? Very good. We need to work together. We can achieve more. Okay. So thank you for sharing your lessons. Now let us, the first race. The lesson of the first race, according to the story, is that slow and steady wins the race. Now in the second race, the moral of the story is the fast and consistent will always beat the slow and steady. And for the third race, the moral of the story, first identify your core competency and then change the playing field to suit your core competency. And the last race, the moral of the story, it's good to be individually brilliant and to have strong competencies. But unless you're able to work in a team and harness each other's core competencies, you'll always perform below par because there will always be situations at which you'll do poorly and someone else does well. So therefore, we need to cooperate, to do teamwork so that we can achieve more. Okay, now let us go to our explanation. In the environment, there are plants, animals, and microscopic organisms such as bacteria and fungi. A group of organisms of the same kind living in the same place and at the same time is called a population. So now let us take this definition. Population that interact in a given environment form a community. Group 1, would you please describe the pictures? Picture here. Okay, good. This is a group of lion, also known as population of lion. Now, how about this one? Bees. That's great, no? Population of bees, group 2. And for group 3, great. Population of tuna. So, populations interact in a given environment. Okay, now let us answer this question. What populations of organisms do you see? Okay, you do pair sharing. Okay, very good. So, now let us, in a community, interactions within and among populations may have important influences to death rate and birth rates of the organisms and in turn on population growth and size. These interactions may have positive, neutral, or even negative influences on interacting population. Okay, we have our group activity, creative presentation. So you are tasked to report about mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, predation, and competition. For group 1, you will report mutualism. For group 2, will report commensalism. Group 3 will report parasitism. Group 4 will report predation and competition. So I will give you 10 minutes to do your work, and please assign somebody to report on the large class and the whole class. Okay, so thank you. What a very good presentation. Congratulations to you all. For group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. Great job. Now let us continue with our discussion. What kind of interaction do the ants and aphids exhibit? This is already answered by group 1. This is an example of mutualism. Aphids are small insects that suck liquid containing sugar from the conducting tissues of plants. These aphids get a certain amount of sugar and other nutrients from this liquid. However, much of the liquid called honeydew is released through the aphid's anus. The ants consume this honeydew as food. The ants in turn protect the aphids from their insect predators. Thus, both species benefit from each other. Okay, the aphids and the ants. Take note, both species benefit from each other. Okay, this interaction between the populations of ants and aphids is referred to as mutualism. When we say mutualism, it is a biological interaction between two species wherein both the species benefit from each other. Okay, let's continue. Some interactions among organisms are easier to determine. Others and some effects can easily be observed. Study the photographs that follow. Okay, this is the summary of the report of Group 2. The relationship between the fern and the nara tree is an example of commensalism. Okay, epiphytes are plants that depend on other plants for support. Usually, epiphytes grow on trunks and branches of trees. Figure 6 shows an epiphytic fern that attaches itself on a trunk of a nara tree without harming the tree. So this is the epiphytic fern and the trunk of the nara tree. The nara tree is the host that provides a place for the fern to live. Okay, now, for this relationship is called commensalism. One organism benefits from the host organism, while the host organism is neither positively or negatively affected. Commensalism is a type of symbiotic relationship between two organisms in which one benefits without affecting the other one in any way. Look at this example. Okay. Now, for the summary of the report of the group 3, figure 7 shows an insect larva and a leaf of a plant. What kind of relationship do you think do these two organisms have? This is an example of parasitism, because a larva of an insect lives on the leaves of a plant and causes damage by eating the leaves. Okay, now, the insect larva, the parasite, gets its nutrients by eating the leaves, thereby damaging the plant, the host. This relationship is called parasitism. Okay, another definition of parasitism. Parasitism is the relationship between two organisms wherein one organism, the parasite, thrives at the cost of the other, the host. Okay, a parasite gets its nutrients from living host harmed by interaction. Another example of parasitism is the flea that thrives on the dog. The dog is harmed by the flea that feeds on its blood. Okay, so we need to take care of our dogs by washing them regularly, at least once a month, because the man's best friend is dog. What if our dog is being hurt or harmed by the flea? So we need to take care of them. Next, what other examples of parasitism can you give? Anyone? Okay, good. You are correct. The mosquito and us human, we are being harmed by the mosquito carrying virus dengue. Another example. Okay, good. Your classmate who constantly asking you paper, that could be a parasitic attitude and not giving it in return. So it could be. No? Now let us proceed to our activity. Now let's do this very interesting activity. So the activity number 3, which is what? Okay, so you need to identify the predators and prey animals in the environment. Describe how the predators capture the prey animals for food. and describe how predators and prey animals interact with each other in the environment. So you need to have this worksheet, pencil, hand lens. So observe each organism in the video presentation. Fill the appropriate circle to each of the organism. Okay, let's see now. This is an example of two organisms interacting. Okay, so we have the predation. Okay, frogs are lightning fast as capturing prey. Okay, so please fill in the circles provided in your worksheet. Okay, perfect. Now let us proceed. For picture number 2, please observe the video. Okay, this is an example of two organisms interacting with one another. We have the cat and the mouse. Okay, very good, no? So let us proceed to our third video presentation. Okay, we have this one, the two interact. Okay, that's great. So let's proceed to the last video presentation. The bird and the worm. Okay, that's great. Now let us summarize the activity. Okay, animals kill and eat other animals. This interaction is called predation. When the other animal eats and kills other animal, that is predation. So predation is the kind of interaction between two species in which one species, the predator, feeds on the other species, the prey. So that is a summary for group 4. An animal that kills and eats other animals is called the predator. An animal that is killed and eaten by its predator is called a prey. Prey animals are usually smaller and less powerful than the predator that eats them. For video presentation number 1, the frog is the predator and the prey is the mosquito. So that is the prey and the predator. Another example is, in a given community, predators compete with other predators for prey animals. While the predator's prey may be another prey's predator. This means that while an animal hunts and feeds upon another animal, it can also become a prey to a larger and stronger predator. Okay, look at this video presentation.